Hey.
Hey, yourself.
We need to talk about LISEY'S story.
Okay.
Movies, music.
Well, hello there. My name is Elon Osborne, and this is my YouTube channel where I talk about movies, audio, and music. Oh, you like those things too? And you like the way in which this information is delivered to your earballs and eye holes? Then don't forget to
Like this video, subscribe, become a patron, rock some merch, get some tunes, read my children's book to you kids.
Link in description. Link in description. Boy!
Based on the best-selling novel by Stephen King and adapted for Apple TV Plus by the author himself, LISEY'S story follows a widow named Lisey, played by Julianne Moore, who mourns the loss of her late husband Scott Landon, played by Clive Owen, who was a rock star level author, having written several best-selling novels. But the death of Scott Landon causes Lisey to be the object of a psychopathic stalker, Jim Dooley, played by Dane DeHaan, obsessed with her husband's work, who will stop at nothing to make sure Scott's unpublished manuscripts are released to his adoring fans. It has an average rating of 54% on Rotten Tomatoes with an average audience score of 49%. So, yeah. Not that great. But despite the sluggish pace and occasional filler episode where not much happens to move the plot forward, we're here to talk about audio, and man, did it deliver on that front. And don't we all know that in the horror genre, audio is most important? But the audio is also elevated, quite literally in fact, because it's presented in Dolby Atmos. And there is fantastic use of space, dimension, and just plain direction of where the sounds are coming from throughout the whole series. Exaggerated sound design that's not too overbearing or over the top. Case in point, there's this part where this ever-present drone is just getting louder and louder and louder. And when Lisey turns on a bathroom light, silence. I even laughed out loud like, not because I thought it was funny, but that was my knee-jerk reaction to such a cool effect. And the series is filled with moments like that, accented by incredibly thought-out sound design, and some great bass extension, often in places that you wouldn't expect your subwoofer to be doing much at all. There's this 3-foot-tall replica of a lighthouse that actually comes into play a lot throughout the series, and even that has some great bass extension every time the light sweeps across the screen. And just as an aside, that's why I'm like a kid in a candy store with this era of Dolby Atmos. Because it seems like every show or movie that comes out nowadays, no matter the genre, is just mixed so well that it just sounds incredible. It's not just because of the height channels. It's not just because of the better, more frequent use of sub-bass frequencies. The advancements in technology have just given soundtracks more room to breathe, more precise placement, and even more clarity when compared to mixes from the 90s or even the early to mid 2000s. Now, just a fair warning, this show is not for everyone. So be prepared for some scenes that might make you feel a little squeamish. I mean, it is Stephen King, so there is some blood, and cutting and hitting, some child abuse, some breaking of bones that made me cringe for sure. But it sure did sound great, right? Huh?
Sure.
Now, I know it's not getting a great overall score on Rotten Tomatoes, but you cannot deny the stellar performances of all the cast, top to bottom. I'm sure Julianne Moore is going to be at least nominated for an Emmy for this. But everyone in the cast sells it so well. Everyone, and I mean everyone, is crazy, and you can't help but want to watch this train wreck unfold. And another aspect of selling these performances is the music. Composed by electronic musician Clark, the unsettling use of strings, electronic elements, and haunting piano complement the scenes just as well as the sound design. I listened to Clark's music and I thought it was okay. It's pretty cool. Which goes to show that almost every artist out there has something else up their sleeve, right? Something else that they're not famous for, but they can pull off remarkably well. Because I was blown away by the musical score. The score is filled with spectacular violin or cello motifs, string quartet pieces, beats, even choral arrangements that fit so well with this little story in this little town with a bunch of crazy people. Another standout in sound design was this creature called the Long Boy. Within this imaginary land dreamed up by Scott Landon, there is this beast that roams it. But it isn't just any monster, it is this humanoid figure that is comprised of thousands of lost souls, like literal body parts that have amassed into this creature with glowing eyes. And it trudges around this imaginary landscape like T-Rex from Jurassic Park, working your subwoofers with every step. Boom, boom. But that's not all. Since the Longboy is comprised of thousands of lost souls, it just sounds like a huge group of people yelling or moaning. It's incredibly haunting, terrifying even, and it's often surrounding you, coming from behind, above you, always moving around the soundstage. It is intended to frighten the audience, and it does just that. Well, hello there. My name is Elon Osborne, and this is my YouTube channel. Shut up! There's a bumblebee. Thought the tripod was a flower. But the audio is also often in places that you wouldn't expect yourself. And just as an aside, it's hot outside. The sweat is trickling down my spine.
And there you have it.
Is LISEY'S story made for everyone? No. But if you like a good horror thriller that looks great in Dolby Vision, sounds incredible in Dolby Atmos, immersing you all around almost constantly, and giving your subwoofer a nice workout, then yeah, I would highly recommend LISEY'S story. Have you seen LISEY'S story? What did you think about it? Will you watch it now just for the Atmos? Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to like and subscribe and hit that bell to help support the creation of future episodes. And of course, always be listening. Wind. Gust of wind. Are you working, dead cat? Come on, wind. Shush. Stop. Stop? Stop. You weren't windy this whole time. Come on. I literally have 3 more lines. Come on, wind. Jeez. Thanks, wind.